All right. Well, good morning, Chamber family. This is Brett Shoemaker, and I am live here with Miss Tara Lynn. And Tara, do you go by Tara Lynn, or do you go by Tara Riley? That's your brand name. That's kind of like your pen name as an artist. Or tell me a little bit.
Yeah, just Tara. Lynn
Tara.
is my middle name, so I figured that would be a good company name because whenever I started my company, I was about to get married, and so my last name is going to be changing.
Smart. I love that. Yeah, I love that idea. I have a little story behind that same thought process. So I love that idea. So anyway, so Tara Lynn Media. So Tara, why don't you tell everybody, I've got your website up here at taralynnmedia.com, which is gorgeous website here. So just so you guys know, I know she builds beautiful websites or has somebody on her team that does that. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about kind of what you do and what your specialties are, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Yeah, so it is me building the websites, me personally. And we are a boutique social media and marketing agency, and we work to basically change the way the world sees your business. Because in this day and age, if you're not visible online in the right ways or on social media, your business doesn't really exist in the eyes of many consumers. So we work to make sure that you're not only visible on the right platforms and online and in Google, but also visible in the right way in a quality that represents the quality of your service and of your brand. So we do that through websites, social media, Google Ads, basically anything online for your business, as well as traditional marketing.
Okay, beautiful. That's awesome. So, Tara, how did you get into this space? How long have you been doing it? How did you get into it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I I actually started coding on MySpace back when I was like 11 years old. And that's what first really got me into computers. I didn't have any friends on MySpace. I just would code my little website and that was it. But that's what really got me into computers to begin with. And then throughout high school, I did journalism and yearbook. And so I got really good at Photoshop. And so in that time, I realized, okay, I want to do something in the digital space. Back then, social media was starting out, but it wasn't as big as it is now for sure. They were just starting with like Facebook for business and all of that back when I was a lot younger. I'm not that old, but still a lot has changed in the last, 15 years. So that's kind of how I got started back then. And then professionally, I've been doing this for about 7 or 8 years. So I've been able to really just craft my style and my quality. And I focus really on the luxury branding side of things because I do have quite a bit of experience in that. And so I apply that luxury branding to every business that I work with, whether they're looking to target a luxury demographic or not. It just provides them with an elevated sense of branding that really
I love that elevated sense of branding. I love that. Well, I can definitely tell you're congruent with what you're saying, because when I look at your website, you definitely have that whole elegant feel. So good job on that. You are very welcome. So you guys also do Google AdWords as well, right? So did you have to learn that on the fly as well? By the way, real quick, when you talked about MySpace, I just sound like this blast from the past. So it's like kind of crazy here. So when you were talking about when you did coding on MySpace, was that where you had to because MySpace was kind of complicated. Like if you wanted to have a different background, if you wanted to have like a different color background or whatever, you had to go in and break code apart, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. So I would go into the back end of the HTML themes and add in different things. I was Googling what the code was, how to do it. And yeah, all of that at 11. I needed a different hobby, I think.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, so WordPress and Elementor is kind of super simple compared to all that complicated stuff you were doing back then, huh?
Yeah, sometimes there's extra little things that still stump me to this day, even with 10 years of website experience. But because it's always changing. And that's the problem with the digital space and social media. It's literally always changing from day to day. So it's hard to keep up.
Yes, you're right. It is always changing. So tell me, do you work with small entrepreneurs that are just getting started? Can they afford your elevated what did you call it? Your elevated sense of style.
Yes, elevated branding.
Elevated branding. There you go.
Yeah, so I work with a wide range of levels of business. So from small businesses to medium to even large businesses. For the smaller businesses, I do have a little bit more of a affordable package that involves a lot more consulting one-on-one, and not so much me doing everything, but me working with them to learn how to do things the right way or to answer questions. I actually just launched a thing called, I'm calling it like marketing therapy. So that's more for your small businesses, real estate agents, people that can't really afford the full level service that I offer, but need a little bit of help and some guidance on how to do what they do.
Nice. All right, awesome. So is that on your website?
No, that's not on my website yet. I'm just actually announcing it here. So it'll be coming out in the next couple months. It'll be on my website.
Okay, beautiful. So marketing therapy, do you want to tell us a little bit more price points? Are you still kind of putting that together or?
So for marketing therapy, that'll start around $100 a session. But for full level service, it's anywhere from $500 to $2,500 a month. It really just varies on what your business needs. And I put together custom packages for every business that I work with, because sometimes there's things that one business needs that another doesn't. And also it really depends on the industry, because I do work with a wide variety of industries, from wedding industry to landscaping to medical field, all over the place. So everyone needs a little bit something different. So I do customize for each person.
I love that. Well, let me see if we have any questions here. So if anybody, we've got Albert Perez here. Good morning, Chamber family. Good morning, Brett and Tara. Albert says MySpace. So he had the same comment there. So if anybody has any questions for Tara, let me know in the comments here. And I'm going to pull up your website back, Tara, because I just love all of what you've done here with the website. Looks like you've got a welding company that you did here, it looks like, huh?
Yes. Yeah. So that was a e-commerce welding company that I did the website for and completely rebranded. So that was a lot of fun to work on, and very different from, I do a lot in the wedding space as well.
Okay.
So it's very interesting to go between the two.
Yeah, no doubt. Welding to weddings, right? That's
Yes.
just like your taglines. From welding to weddings, I've got all your brandings.
Yes. And everything in between.
So how did you start in the wedding space? How did that happen?
So I actually worked for a luxury wedding magazine back in 2018. And so, yeah, so that really crafted my love for weddings and also just for the luxury industry as a whole. And then I planned my own wedding. And so that just love continued to flourish. So now I do work with a couple different wedding vendors for their own marketing. And it's something that I really, that's my little passion, because it's very pretty. So it's a lot of fun to work on.
Like you like the luxury and the nice princess feel, I can tell.
Yes, yes.
I love that. So Tara, so you've got a website. So how are you with Facebook ads? So you say do you do Facebook ads and Google ads, or you just do Google ads? Talk a little bit about that, because I know, as you mentioned, some companies that might want to start doing some marketing and throwing some marketing dollars. Do you charge by like the campaign amount or per campaign? Do you charge like a what do you call it, a retainer plus a percentage of their marketing spend, or how does that work?
Yes. So for Google ads, it depends on if they're a client of mine that's also doing social media marketing, because a lot of times I'll package in, it's just management of all ads as needed. So it's not an additional fee. And I also set it up to where the credit card on file is their card. So they know the exact spend that Google is taking out, so that they know, because I know a lot of times people go through their marketing agency and then you're like, okay, well, what was management? What was the spend? I don't do that. I cut that out. So you know the exact spend. If I don't package it in with like something else that we're already doing, then it's dependent on, I typically do a percentage of the spend, about like 10% of the spend. But it also depends on the business, because a lot of times I will, depending on the size of the business, I will stray them away from doing Google ads, because it is expensive to get results. So I do lean more towards like the Facebook and Instagram ads, or even LinkedIn ads sometimes. But I'm typically I'm always very honest with the business about, okay, what is actually going to get you results? Let's not just throw money at something. Let's be strategic about it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that makes a lot of sense. I love that. Okay, cool. So, and then as far as Photoshop, are you still doing, I'm sure you're still doing logos and designs and all of that jazz?
Yes, yeah. So all the graphic design, I've been on Photoshop for about 15 years now. So, and then I also use like Adobe Illustrator and all the other creative suite platforms. We also do video editing as well, social media focused video. So on my team is also my husband. And so he's more of the video guy. And so he helps with getting video and doing custom videos for businesses that is strictly social media focused videos, because a lot of times whenever you work with a videographer, it's more YouTube long form content, and you're not getting those vertical videos that you need for social media for it to do well. So that's what we focus on.
Gotcha. So Tara, tell everybody here before we close out here, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. What's the best way to get in contact with you? And if they need their marketing therapy session, because I love that.
So the best way to get in touch with me is either by email, info@taralynnmedia.com, or on my website. I have a button for free consultation. So the first session is completely free. And that's for if you're wanting marketing therapy or full level service as well. And so then you can book an appointment with me on there as well. Or you can give me a call. And my phone number is 713-489-3524.
And I've got it right here. I'm dropping that in the comments as well, so that everybody can have that. So they've got your number and your email there in the comments. So as people go by and replay this, they'll see it. Carrie Hanley says hello. I'm not intelligent enough to ask a question about website stuff. Okay. That was Albert.
It's also social media. Everyone is typically on social media in some capacity. So
they've got more knowledge. They've got more knowledge than they are aware of, right? Well, listen, I have had fun today, Tara. So thank you so much for hopping on Chamber Chat this morning. And guys, if you want a luxury brand style and you want somebody who can help you do that, Tara is your girl. So Tara, thank you so much for hopping on here, telling us your story about how you got started from MySpace to the journal, to the yearbook, to the yearbook journal, to now doing this as a business. That is so awesome. Congratulations. And looking forward to seeing you at the next big chamber event so we can meet in person and talk a little bit of marketing. I love chatting marketing, so we could have a good old time with that.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you for having me. It's been awesome.
All right, Tara, have a great day. Thank you so much. All right, Chamber family, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you guys next week, 10 a.m. Chamber Chat, same time, same channel. Have a good one, guys. God bless everybody.